Oh, yes, Now, just so that you understand, there was meals available 5 days a week in Port Angeles. Ouch. And at that time, they had a free meal at the Episcopal Church, and I would go to swim on Saturdays. Yes, I'd have some coffee, since I had an all-day pass, right? And then I would eat at the Episcopal Church, and I would use the swim public library. Now, one time I did see a boy named Maximilian Pooch, and he said, "Don't talk to strangers." I said, "What's your mother's name?" He said, "Heidi." And I said, "Yes, do not talk to strangers." And I walked away. Hooch! Because I hadn't seen my son in 4 years, and I couldn't believe how he changed since he was 4 years old. Now, there was another time I was in the Squim Public Library, and I noticed that my sons walked in there, and I walked out. I stood outside of the library's property on the sidewalk, and I waited for them to leave. I didn't speak to them. Pooh! But I did need to know, are you going to go left or right? Because I can't go the same direction as them, because that would be stalking. Oh! Oh, oh! Now, I remember it was Deacon, it was Jessica, and it was Zachary that I'd seen at the Squim Public Library on that Saturday. I intentionally did not make contact. I did not speak to my sons. But you tried to entrap me every fucking time I went to Squim, didn't you? Oh, see, it's a no contact order. That means I'm restrained from contacting them. Now, for whatever reason that conversation happened, yes, I did not contact Maximilian. I told him, "Don't talk to me." Now, Squim Oach has been attempting to entrap me for violating the restraints of the protection order. Yes, and that would be civil contempt, wouldn't it? Ooch. See, as I read this manual, just moving forward, I can always move back. Yes. I spent some time finding out exactly what that traffic citation was. Now, a violation of a protection order may constitute civil contempt of court. Oh, as well as subjecting the violator to criminal sanctions. Yes. I put a little emergency right there. Yes. In addition to applicable civil criminal penalties, violation of an order issued under this chapter shall also constitute contempt of court. Oh, now there are some available sanctions for those that contempt of court. It's known as the civil contempt of court proceedings. See, when you issue that traffic citation, yes, without actually documenting what happened, there was no pictures of any injuries. Yes, it's really a contempt of court, a civil contempt of court. It's not a criminal. It's not. See, I actually did read a lot of this. There's punitive sanctions, yes, remedial sanctions, and then there's contempt of court, right? And then they have a whole list of things. Now, this punitive sanctions, right? Proceeding or impose punitive sanctions are initiated by filing information or complaint by the prosecuting or municipal attorney, either on the attorney's own initiative, yes, or at the request of a person aggrieved by contempt. Now, this thought that every time that you see somebody that there's a protection order, that you as the restrained, right, you can't contact them, you can't talk to them, yes, that's known as the restrained contempting a court order. Ooch. It's not criminal. Oh. Now, the court proactivity reviewing and enforcing by ordering treatment. Just a second here. Yes. The person accused of contempt is entitled to notice and hearing. Yes. Now, a person found or have committed contempt may be sanctioned as followed: by imprisonment for long as a course of purpose is served. Yes. Forfeiture not to exceed $2,000 each day for contempt. Ooh. An entry of an order designed to ensure compliance with a prior court order. Yes. See, in both instances, when you arrested me on January 4th of 2016, yes, for the allegation of contempt of court, a civil contempt of court, yes, because I wasn't in Squim, Washington. I don't know what happened there. I was in Port Angeles that day. Your criminal proceedings against me, ooch, when using a traffic citation, were absolutely fraudulent. Pooch! as were the mental health evaluations, yes, as were the recommendations from the individual known as the professional person of the state of Washington, yes. And then when the prosecuting attorney in Jefferson County filed the 2-count criminal complaints, yes, without me being questioned by law enforcement about where I was on June 16th of 2017, yes, those are considered civil contempt of court proceedings. Now, I'm almost sure, but I'm not an attorney, that when you said I was going to have a 1077 for a contempt of court, I'm going to sue the fucking shit. Contempt of court proceedings have a different calendar than the district court. Yes, they do. District courts are there for criminal proceedings. Yes, they are. Superior courts are there for superior court proceedings. Yes. But I was just reading chapter 8, and it looks like both times that you arrested me, yes, were for contempt of court for the allegation of violating the restraint provisions of the court fucking order.